What's good, man? What's good? Let's talk this boxing this morning. OKC Boxing Talk Uncut. What's good, man? Chef Boy ID. All right, Gregory Wyatt, man. What's going on, man? Tommy Dore, what's happening? H Town 713. What's good this morning? The perfection up in here. Gregory Wyatt, man. Salute to you as well. Shamboy Ami. D-Low 404, Tony Snowflakes, Real Talk, Boxing Conversations with Reggie Owens. Please subscribe to Boxing Conversations with Reggie Owens. Roderick Bardnax, what's going on, man? What's blazing in sports? What's good? Charles D, what's going on, man? Mark Blake, Almighty Law 703, and Cornelius John, what's good with you guys, man? Abel Mahari, what's going on? James Pelt, DOG 77, what's good? General Squirrels, what's going on, man? African King. You say, Fannon, my brother, what's up? Been a while. Yeah, it's been a while, man. Good to see you back. XX Reblow, what's going on, man? Fighting Quads. Hey, holla at your boy, Fannon. My man, what's going on with you fighting quads? Harold Jones, what's going on? Caps in full. G, what's going on, man? Raider Time. My man, Jeff, the producer, what's going on, man? I gotta put this gong on my hand waiting for this to do. I know. Tony Dore, what's going on? Starting the morning right, dog. What's good, man? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My man, what's going on? Hustler Slim. 86 Rick. Dare, what's going on? Darnell Kirkland, what's going on, Darnell? It's Cursor, what's going on? Elvis Hanson and St. Cruz, and what's going on, man? Let me back up and say what's up to a couple cats I missed. Joe Diaz, Gravy Davy in this building. Shin Smoke, what's good, man? Muhammad is the one. What's going on, man? Drew Titan, New Money, Marcus Johnson, Man, what's going on, Mr. Robinson? Man, I haven't seen you in a minute. What's going on, Lauren Bevel? How are you? Man, appreciate you looking out yesterday, man. Fifth Avenue Phil, Scholar Gang. You got that right. Scholars Guide in the New Generation. Speaking of which, man, I got to tell you, I had an experience this morning. Jeff, the producer. What's good, everybody? What's good, everybody? Sugar Fantastic in the building. Mark Wonderlick, you know, son Fannon would have gone. Damn right. Hey, look, let me see. Let me put it in so y'all can see the gong. That's a real gong, dog. That's a real gong. No sound effects up in this joint, dog. That's a sales gong. What's going on? Our appetite for destruction? Yeah, dog. What's going on? Smash that like button. Yes, sir. Easy Fannon. Big up, bro. What's going on? What's going on, Mr. B? Let me make sure I ain't miss anybody else up in this joint before I get up there. It's Cornelius Littlejohn. What's good, man? Broderick Hunter, man. Sugar Fantastic. I think I already hit you, but let me hit you again. Also, man, I don't see Toot Robinson in here, but I'm a slapper for Toot Robinson. And Gregory Wyatt. What's good, man? Fannon, I don't know if De La Hoya was serious. Did you see that shit he said about the Charlos? No, I didn't see. What did he say about the Charlos? You know he talking shit, man. You know he talking shit. Oh, but let me tell you, man. Let me tell you. Speaking of Scholar Gang, dog, it's hilarious, man. I had a business meeting this morning, right? And I'm telling you, man, my daughter's home, but I'm going to tell you this. All right. I got a fetish for smart chicks. Love smart chicks. Never have to look at them in their face, but if they're really, really, really smart, dog, I love smart women. Real smart women. And in my profession, I run into them a lot. So, but, you know, here's a little ego of mine. I don't really often run into people that I like that are steps ahead of me. But there's this woman at work who is steps ahead of me, man. And shit is like every time, dog, it's like funny to me because we were having this talk. Like we got this company and the owner of the company wants to sell the company. And so it's a company that is involved in selling business to a public sector. And he wants to break his company into two different companies, or actually rename one company and start another company, but have the names be close. And then have one sell to corporations and another one do public sector stuff, right? So I mean, dude, it'll take me about less than 2 days to start a company, right? Because it's just a series of things you do. I've done them a bunch of times. But I went back and forth with this lady about it. And Man, she got me twice, dog. She got me twice. First, she messed me up because I was like, I do this shit all the time. It's not complicated. This is how you do it. But she wanted to know, answer questions about whether you should do it and what the effect of on the evaluation of the company would be, the value of the company would be if you separated the public sector versus the private sector, right? And whether one was like a minority-owned certification or all these technical questions, dude. So I wind up like, after I said that, I acted like I knew more about it than she did. Actually, I know about setting up the company, but she got me. She was like, okay, you do it then. And I was like, damn. She walked me right into that shit. I wound up getting a bunch of extra work dropped on my plate because she one-upped me, dog. She Eddie Hearned me, man. And then when I talked to her on the phone about the stuff, dog, that lady really understood every single solitary point that I brought up, right? Understood it well. And I was like, damn, you just stuck me with all this damn work. And on top of it, I'm still going to have to go back to you to ask you this other shit. It was ridiculous, man. I got Eddie Hearned, man. I got Eddie Hearned, dog. Sorry, I didn't feel that about smart women yet, dog. But when they're smart, dog, it's like, that's why I don't have any tolerance for you dumb motherfuckers that are on this channel, okay? I don't like a smart chick. If a smart chick is on this side of it, dumb ass Negro, I ain't gonna say the N-word, but dumb motherfuckers are on this one. I got no time for dumb motherfuckers, but dumb dudes I can't stand. And by dumb, I mean not intelligent, but you just say stupid shit over and over and over and over and over again. You know, AJ fans, y'all just dumb, okay? Dumb as in you don't learn. Like, come on, man. When you lose an argument, you lost it, okay? You lost it. And you'll make you a better man. If you lose the argument, if you just accept AJ's a bitch, just accept it, okay? That shit's been proven long ago, but you want to hang on to it and keep going with it and keep going with it. And you just dig yourself deeper and deeper and deeper into a hole. When all you got to say is you're right. And then you're free. Say you're right. Fannon, you're right. AJ's a bitch. I know AJ's a bitch. Okay, fine. He's a bitch. Now, what are we going to do moving here forward? Then you can do something. But until then, you're just losing. You're going to be insulting me, calling me an old man, say I look like a milk dud. Dog. And then here's the killer in this conversation. At the end of it, when she got me, because she got me. I was got. Okay, I was got. I was defeated. I realized that I lost. I realized, number one, she's smarter than me. All right, damn it. And she knows she's smarter than me. I know she's smarter than me. And she knows that I know that she's smarter than me. Okay? It sucks, but it's true. Okay? It sucked, but it was true. And I had to give it up. Okay? Could she do the things that I do? No. But the chick she got an MBA, a CPA. She an MBA, a CPA. She used to be like the head of a financial department. Like, she used to run a major city's budget, right? She worked for upper level Fortune 500 companies, right? Chick makes a shitload of dough. And you know what she told me? This is the killer of the whole fucking thing. When she got me and I said, damn. And here I was thinking you like me. Then I talked to her on the phone, right? And I said, damn, why you hate me? She's like, I don't hate you. I just wanted to, hey, I'm just going to lay it out on the table like that. Hey, and then she said, worse shit, slap in the face. She said, you can't offend me. She said, you cannot offend me. I was like, God dang. I can't even offend her. Like, I don't give a shit about what you think. I loved it, dog. I loved it. This shit was so fun, dog. But see, that just goes to prove you. And the reason I wanted to show this was, the reason I wanted to say this is because, see, that's like corporate business, right? I mean, that's what she does, all right? That's what she does, all right? That's what the fuck she does. And she's really, really, really smart chick. Like, really, really, really smart chick. And I got to admit it. I'm smart enough to know when I've lost. Okay? I'm smart enough to know when I'm lost, and I'm smart enough not to continue to dig myself into a hole. Okay? All right. So at the end of it, what I said was, all right, look, I'll come up with a plan to get this stuff done. And she was like, cool. So what we'll do is we'll just wait for him to respond to the note you sent. And then if he wants to go this way, we'll go this way. If we want to go that way, we'll go that way. And I was like, yeah, I guess we'll have to do that, okay? And then she spit in my eye, dog, and she said, bye. Because it's a black chick. It's a black chick from the South Side of Chicago. So she got off of her corporate, plat and said, bye. I was like, yeah, bye. I loved it, man. I loved it. That shit is so fun because you can be frustrated. See, that's what I'm telling you, some of you cats, man. When you're around somebody that can teach you, because I learned. Okay, I learned from her. When she goes, first of all, she validates my understanding of certain things. And it's somebody that I know if I listen to her, then it's like, okay, I know I'm on the right path because she, when it comes to corporate finance, when it comes to organizational structures, when it comes to the operation of these businesses, she is here and I am here. Okay. And that's just what it is. There ain't no need for me to be acting like I'm here and she's here because that's not the case. Okay. But here's the blessing. I learned now. Watch yourself. Watch yourself. You got cocky. You've been in the game a long time. You got cocky. You didn't see it coming. Okay? You didn't see the left hook coming. And she set me up for the left hook, dude. Set me up. I walked, bam, right into a ton of work, dog, that I don't get paid no extra to do. It's crazy. But salute to y'all as well. I just thought I would share that. That was a work story, dog. Okay, that was a work story. And remember this about women, okay? Cats don't believe me. Dudes do not believe me. But I promise you this. Assume that you cannot outthink a woman. Assume it. Assume you cannot outthink a woman. They've been blessed. They've been blessed up here. And a lot of cats don't catch it. That's why you guys wind up being simpletons for chicks, right? You wind up losing your shirt to chicks. That's why this whole Me Too movement is people getting mopped, okay? Because we've got brawn, we've got strength, and they've never been conditioned to think that they had that over you. But they're better if you have any male over the top of you, right, in an organization or whatever, they will use his ass to bop the shit out you. Just watch, man. I'm telling you. You fell in love, big dogs? Nah, no love. I'm loving my wife, dog. But I'm just telling you, dog, hey, man, I love smart women. My brother told me one time, he was like, man, I don't need a woman to do my homework. I used to look at them girls. They would do the National Honor Society and all that stuff. Half them chicks walking across there were women. Dang near only black people in America that read books are black women. They're your strength, man. They really are your strength. Dudes got a lot of ego, a lot of shit. Chicks got egos too, but it operates in a little bit of a different way, man. Go Pilot, have you heard of men go their own way? And yeah, I have, man. But let me tell you, dog, if a woman ain't going that way, dog, I ain't really trying to go. I ain't really trying to go. Okay. I like women and I like women around me. I don't have any problem with women, dog. I ain't have no problem with the way women have treated me, the way that I treat women. I love women. I love women. I ain't no super sucker now. Don't get me right. I ain't just gonna be I ain't one of them dudes. You ain't just gonna be, but dog. For me, it's hard for me to conceive of wanting to be anywhere that is not women. I'm a member of a fraternity, and we got this thing called conclave, right? Where 100, 1,000, I don't know how many people show up to the conclave, 20,000, 30,000 men in my fraternity go like every other year. I think it's every other year they go to a major city and get together. I never go because it is almost impossible for me to get my head around being in a bunch of meetings with a bunch of dudes. I'm like, what the fuck do I need to be around? There's a bunch of dudes. Where the women at? Where the women? I mean, at least you ain't doing shit they can walk by and you can be like, dang. No, dog, I like women, dog. I ain't going my way. I ain't going nowhere without women, dog. I love women. And on top of that, that's why I never had to date nobody but black women. Because you got all these black dudes out there acting like they want to find some other woman because black women don't do this and black women don't do that. And I'm like, all right, take your ass on over there. I'll take them. I'll take them. You don't want them? I'll take them. Thank you. You can have Becky with the blue eyes. I'll be over here with LaQuisha with the attitude any day of the week, dog. I got no problems, dog. None. I'm telling you, I am a 100% 100-mile-an-hour supporter of women, black women. Now, when you suckers start letting them take advantage of you, that's on you. You don't, and most cats that shit winds up happening to think women are stupid. And when you think people are stupid, that's when they get you. When you think women are stupid, you think people are stupid, that's when they get you. It's easy to get somebody when that's what they say. That's why they call it playing dumb. You think these girls will walk around talking about, you think they fucking mean that bullshit? They don't mean that bullshit. They are just talking in that way. They're moving in that way because they know that shit is like hypnotism to you. Tick tock, tick tock, shake your hips, grow your hair long. These dummies will do what you want them to do. Man, come on. That's on y'all, dog. I loves women. You are an extremely small minority regarding Joshua, mate. Even your fellow. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, main event. I couldn't read all of it because I was in a meeting, but I'll get it back to you. Smart women, but not devious ones. Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, you got to do that. Dude, let me tell you something, man. Andrew Walker, see, you're one of them dumbasses. I am not in the majority with shit related to Anthony Joshua, dude. I am not in the minority. You are in the deluded. You are deluded. Okay? I am not in no extremely small minority regarding Joshua. I mean, even your fellow countrymen disagree with me. No, they do not. Those are them dumb motherfuckers. Them motherfuckers are suckering you. I see their fucking videos. Those dudes say anything against. They are what you call coons. They say they say the opposite of whatever Black American channels are saying. They say the opposite. Just check any topic, not Anthony Joshua, any topic. If you're talking about Sergey Kovalev, Andre Ward was a cheater. If you talk about Floyd Mayweather Jr., Manny Pacquiao was ducking. They take the opposite position all the time so that people will watch their videos. They do that shit with every fight, okay? If you're talking about Barack Obama's Michelle Obama's a man. Dog, just because you can find a few Americans that agree with you does not mean I'm in the minority. Trust me. You don't even have to trust me. I guarantee you I'm not in the minority because Anthony Joshua doesn't have anybody over here that even knows him. And the majority of the American black the American boxing channels either don't talk about Anthony Joshua at all, or they say something, or they think that Anthony Joshua's ducking, or they're over there talking about Anthony Joshua to insult me or insult somebody that does videos about it. But that's how they get views. They sucker you, dude. They sucker you. And since you're not here, where are your statistics? Okay, I'll do what you guys say. Prove it. I ain't no extremely small minority. Okay, you guys are on some. You bugging. You guys want. See, that's the thing. Yeah, main event. He's one of those cats that do that shit. Yeah, I don't have so much problems with him because he keeps my name out of it. So going over there, that's what they do. That's how they do it. They argue. See, because notice how many people put LDBC in the title. They're trying to attract the people that got kicked off of LDBC pages. Okay, and most of those people are UK guys. But they're like, oh, I'm an American. This is what, man, Americans believe that we got 360 million or 300, however many. You're going to find somebody that thinks anything. I ain't in no minority though, dude. Max Kellerman said, Josh was perceived as a ducker. Why would Max Kellerman say that? Oh, but you don't know who Max Kellerman is. Since you're not from here, let me enlighten you to who Max Kellerman is. Max Kellerman was a broadcaster from HBO and ESPN. And is probably top 5 best known sports commentators in America. And he has a show on ESPN, which is probably the #1 sports network in the world. And he covers boxing, used to cover boxing for HBO. He has a show on ESPN, and he said Joshua is perceived as a ducker. Now, why would he say that if it was an extremely small minority of fans that perceived him as a ducker? He wouldn't. He would say Joshua's universally loved. Yeah, exactly. Fifth Avenue Phil. He knows exactly what social media thinks. Dude, I know what it is. I talk to boxing fans every day. Thousands of them. Okay? We talk to thousands. All right? And I got analytics. Okay? I got analytics. YouTube on the back of it got analytics. Y'all just gonna have to start living with that, dog. I don't know. Oh, if he don't know Max, he clapped himself right there. I don't know if he knows him or not, but I'm saying he's talking about we're not an extremely small minority, dude. We're not. Oh, Don Morrell, even his own countryman said it. Lennox Lewis is a duck. Yeah, man, that was a really great article by Lennox Lewis too, by the way, man. Anthony Johnson's in the building. Said, where the women at, dog? You got that, dog. How you going to be like, go your own way, dog? That shit don't sound right to me. Okay? I'm just going to tell you, MGTOW doesn't sound right to me. Doesn't sound right to me. Why? But, maybe I'm going to say, oh, Gilly B said, UK fans lost all respect for this diva, Anthony Johnson. They were calling that cat Anthony Johnson. Yeah, man. AJ is the king, man, dog. AJ's not the king, dude. AJ's not the king, man. Dog, he could be. He could be. But you guys I'm sorry, you too soft on that coochie. Okay? You too soft on that girl. Okay? You need to tell her, dog, no, we're not going to keep paying you. We're not going to keep paying you for this. Finish the job. Stop arguing about how much money you got. Why is he? They need to be financially realistic. Need to be financially realistic. I'm willing to, but they need to be financially realistic. They can't have my money. The money is for me. What do boxing fans care about that, dude? You guys make that argument so much, and you're in Anthony Joshua's ear that you think anybody gives a shit about that. Really? If somebody in basketball did that, dog, they would. In the United States, people don't like that, dude. For real. That's not something you can say that people are going to accept as a reason not to compete. Dog, they don't like it. Okay, even when you hold out, like if you hold out for your salary, dog, like I think a football player holds out for more money, dog, oftentimes they get ripped for that, right? Like, hold on, man, you're a millionaire. You're trying to tell me that you were going to hold out until you become more of a millionaire? Dude, play the game. You're overpaid as it is. That's the attitude cats we having about money, okay? I'm not feeling him. I'm not feeling for him. If I paid Wilder 40%, I only earn 20 million. I deserve 30 million. Dog, ain't nobody trying to hear that, man. Ain't nobody trying to hear that but y'all. But since y'all accept that crap, he goes with that crap and he repeats that crap, which is why he looks so bad. He turned down $50 million. I'm not going to sell my soul for $50 million. Do you know how many people in America would put their soul on a platter for $50 million? How many lifetimes do you own my soul? That would be the only thing they would negotiate. $50 million? Okay, so you want my soul for $50 million? How many? Okay, can we negotiate to just 2 lifetimes? Like when I'm reborn, okay, like you can have the rest of this lifetime and my next lifetime, but after that, oh, come on, man, I'm scot-free after that. 2 lifetimes of slavery to you for $50 million, dog, that's enough, okay? They ain't gonna $50 million for 36 minutes to get on a plane, fight for 36 minutes. $50 million, you turn that down because you're not going to sell your soul for $50 million? And you think people don't believe the money's real? We ain't never in America heard of somebody getting offered $50 million where they said the money's not going to be there. Athletes get $50 million all the time. Professional athletes, $50 million on the regular here. Dog. Some boxers, Floyd Mayweather Jr. got 3-4 times that. But dog, don't nobody believe you, man. Don't nobody believe you. And just like AJ said, he's telling the truth. He's like, look, man, it looks like you just want to milk UK fans. This shit, once you're the champion, he said, and what he said in that note, oh my God, I did the video on it, but dog, I read the article this morning, read the actual article that he wrote. Dog, he roasted AJ. Roasted him. He BFTB body bagged y'all. Okay? Because what he said was he thought it was very smart how AJ got those belts that Tyson Fury dropped. And he said, if you're so anxious to get to fight Charles Martin, why aren't you so anxious to fight Deontay Wilder? If you're willing to give Joseph Parker a 65-35 split, why are you offering Wilder a paycheck? It's like once you become a champion, it's not learn on a job anymore. You're a champion now. You've got to fight the best fighters. And now you're out there struggling, looking for competition. And that's the truth. If there's nobody for him to fight. There's nobody. Nobody that he can fight other than Anthony Joshua, other than Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, can he fight that is a legitimate fight for him. Nobody's doubting whether or not he can beat Dillian White. He already did it. But the biggest problem with AJ is you guys. It's you guys. I remember when Floyd Mayweather Jr. was coming up. See, you guys are like what people used to refer to as Flomos, right? Y'all are AJ's hoes. Okay? There was Flomos, now there's AJ's hoes. Y'all are AJ's hoes. Because once he got to where he was, everything else he does is golden for the rest of the time. I was a huge Floyd Mayweather Jr. fan, supported Floyd Mayweather Jr. all through Pretty Boy Floyd phase. He got to be the welterweight champion. He got that deal with Showtime, and he wouldn't fight Keith Thurman. There was guys that I wanted to see him fight that he wouldn't fight. He deserved criticism for that. He gets paid all that money. He can afford to take the criticism. But there are guys that Floyd Mayweather Jr. can do no wrong. Floyd Mayweather Jr., he's just being smart. It's just business. It's just this. It's just that. I think Floyd Mayweather Jr. is a great fighter. But Floyd Mayweather Jr. is not beyond criticism. But for guys who are what were referred to as Flomos, nothing he said, nothing he could be criticized. Same thing goes with the Pacquiao people. Nothing that he did landing face first, flat on his face against Juan Manuel Marquez, saying he was afraid of needles when he's got tattoos on his arm. All these cats making every excuse he could do no wrong. That's what y'all are doing for AJ now. And there are a bunch of people who are saying, no, you're not even Pacquiao yet, fella. You're not Pacquiao yet. You're not Mayweather yet. You're a domestic fighter over there in the UK who is picking and choosing who he wants to fight because he's got a big fan base in the UK. And you guys are trying to pawn this motherfucker off like he's the king of fucking boxing. And he's not. If he wants to be the king of boxing, you got to do the shit like everybody else does it. get your ass up off your island where everybody roots for you and cheers for you. Come to the International Center of Boxing, which is the United States of America, and fight somebody that the only other guy that has a belt and the crown jewel, the WBC. And everybody knows that the crown jewel is the WBC. But you guys want to give it, you guys are so up his behind that you want to give him credit for the IBO. I mean, either you guys are not boxing fans and you're AJ's hoes, because all you keep doing is first of all, he's got 4 belts. You guys want to give him an extra belt. Like, the IBO is not a major championship belt. He's got 3 of them. Okay, and they're all Tyson Furies. There's 2. Let him win it. And he's got 1 step to do it. He's got 1 step to do it. Fight Deontay Wilder, you're the WBC champion. And then guess what after that? He's going to fight whoever the top challengers are, he's going to have to fight them. There's no escaping that. Even if he did get the unified, he's still got to fight. But y'all don't want that. You want to lay up in bed with the dude, from what I can see. I want to see Floyd fight Paul Williams. Yeah, I mean, that would have been good, man. But you know, there's all kind of criticisms you can have with boxers. Mr. Wigmore, Deontay Wilder is not ducking him. Deontay Wilder's not talking to him. And you can't duck somebody that don't want to fight. I'm sorry. That's not a fact. That's your opinion. First of all, that's your opinion. That's not a fact. That's an opinion. It's your opinion. Just like my opinion is that AJ doesn't want to fight. That's my opinion. It's a fact that Rod McCracken, it's a fact that AJ said maybe 2019, maybe 2020. That's a fact that he said that. 2019, 2020. That's what AJ said. Okay? That's a fact. Deontay Wilder ducking AJ is not a fact. Eddie Hearn offering him a paycheck for the biggest fight in the heavyweight division, not giving him a percentage, having him make an offer, and as soon as Deontay Wilder insinuated that he was going to accept it, taking it off the table, that's a fact. But here's a fact too. I have my opinion. And my opinion is shared by a lot of people and a growing number of people. Because Deontay Wilder fought Luis Ortiz. Why would Deontay Wilder fight Luis Ortiz and not fight Anthony Joshua? As a boxing fan, why would he do that? Why would he duck Anthony Joshua to fight Luis Ortiz? Why would he duck Anthony Joshua to fight Tyson Fury? Both of those guys could be better than Anthony Joshua. Both of them. A 6'9", get out of here. But you do you. Hell no. Exactly, I'm telling you, it's what they AJ's hoes. That's how they act. They act like they loved it, like they in love with the dude. But you know, do you, dog? Do you? You know what I'm saying? AJ is good, unproven local fighter without Wilder Fury. Exactly. Matthew Valentine, what's good, man? Man, I ain't seen you in a minute. He said, I support you, Pound LWC, man down, Bomb Squad, Lions only, baby. Yes, sir. What up, Noob? What's going on, man? Cobra Head. Cuz he didn't want to fight him, scared. Cuz he didn't want to fight him, scared? Who didn't want to fight him, scared? Oh, so you had me laughing about Conclave. Yeah, dog, come on, man. Caspi asks me to go to the Clave all the time, dog, and I'm like, no. No. I'll go eventually. Big Frank and Femi, a big robot pimping all those hoes. He's pimping the hell out of them. Pimping the hell out of them, dog. Pimping the hell out of them, man. selling them a dream. Is Keith Thurman fight might be better than we think? I don't think so, man. Josecito Lopez gonna get slapped in the mouth for 12 rounds. That'll be about the best. I think, because man, Keith Thurman ain't coming back till he's really ready. I think he's ready. I'm not worried about that fight, man, at all. Anthony the King says the fact that you can now pay a mandatory to step aside is why no real fights are made. I think boxing needs to make some fight the number one contenders and no more. I don't even understand. I don't really know what that's going to do. They need to get rid of all these sanctioning bodies. The only thing that's going to make these guys fight each other is getting rid of 3 sanctioning bodies. Really, that's it. You get rid of 3 sanctioning bodies, they're going to have to fight. Because you can't fake it to make it. Okay? You can't fake it to make it. Joseph Parker and Charles Martin, come on, man. Come on, man. That makes you a world champion. Because you beat Charles Martin, and Joseph Parker. Big deal. Big deal. You could say the same thing about Bermane Stiverne. Okay, big deal. They should have to fight the best fighters to be the champion. And you don't have to do that. You don't have to do it. Charles Martin was not some top-notch fighter. He's just not. He got those belts because Tyson Fury dropped him. Same thing with Joseph Parker. And same thing with Vladimir Klitschko. Vladimir Klitschko hadn't fought in 2 years, and he lost the fight that he had. He hadn't won a fight in damn near 3 years. And that's just a fact. Okay? It's just a fact. They didn't have to fight the best fighters to get the belts. But if he wants, dude, if you want to see Anthony Joshua out there in the UK, that's cool. There's no problem with that. You can be big where you are, make a ton of money, and I don't besmirch the guy's money. I don't besmirch him doing well. I don't think he shouldn't, fight at Wembley Stadium, and you guys shouldn't enjoy him and shouldn't enjoy his fights. Shouldn't sing Sweet Caroline. Knock yourself out. But stop there. But stop right there. With all this, he's the king, the AJ era. Somebody said that shit yesterday. The AJ era? You're marketing. This is not the Deontay Wilder era of boxing, okay? It's not. It's not. There's very few people who have had eras in boxing, okay? Very few who have had an era that was theirs, okay? Ali had an era. Ali was probably the last person, in my opinion, that had an era. Then it was like, he's boxing. Okay? He's boxing. That's him. Okay? Maybe Joe Louis. Maybe Jack Dempsey. Maybe Jack Dempsey had an era where Jack Dempsey was the face of boxing. He was boxing. You think boxing, you think Jack Dempsey. Okay? You think boxing, maybe you think boxing, you think Joe Louis. All right? Sugar Ray Robinson, as great as Sugar Ray Robinson was, did not have an era. Okay? Sugar Ray Leonard, as great as he is, didn't have an era. Mike Tyson, as great as popular as Mike Tyson was, he did not have an era. Okay? An era. Muhammad Ali had an era. A long ass time. By 1963 to 1978 was Muhammad Ali's era, where he was the face of boxing the whole time. What nobody considered close to him, what nobody thought, he was one of the most famous people in the world. You know what I mean? You guys want to give him terms like that. No, man. He's not proved it, man. He's got 22 fights. Just right there should tell you. How do you have an era with 5 fights? If every fight that you think he did was what you think it was, how do you have an era with 5 fights? He beat Klitschko in 2017. This is the beginning of 2019. It'll be 2 years in May. How the hell does he have an era? That's him. Since you guys are just up his backside. Like I said, just AJ's hoes. Or you guys are, and they, dog, come on, don't you want to listen to these guys? Let me tell you about my small thing, and I'm going to tell you this is the truth. I challenge cats. AJ scared or Deontay Wilder? I don't think Deontay Wilder's scared, and I think Anthony Joshua's just cheap and arrogant. He's cheap and he's arrogant. And he believes his headlines. That's what I think. I think he thinks he's the king of the world. Well, let me tell you, when he comes to the United States and came to New York, he got his ass on the subway and nobody bothered him. Okay? Nobody bothered him. If Muhammad Ali got on the subway, that shit is going to get packed. If he would have went to London and jogged, the shit was going to have people following him while he's jogging. Okay? That's a worldwide figure. Anthony Joshua is not a worldwide figure. He's a UK figure. Okay? But I think he believes his press. And I think he believes the people that are talking to him saying, why risk it? Why risk it? Why risk it? He doesn't necessarily have to be afraid, but he could think risk reward. I'm a businessman. I'm not thinking. These are the things that he says. It's not about 1 or 2 fights. It's about 10 fights. It's about 8, 10 fights. He's repeating what Barry Hearn and Eddie Hearn tell him. Because that's who he trusts. That's who the first people to cut him checks were them. And that's what he believes. But dog, do you. But I don't got to believe that shit. I mean, what's going on, L5 player? Fannon, how do you have an era without fighting the top 3 guys? You don't. And on top of that, even fighting the top 3 guys don't mean you got an era. Klitschko, in the heavyweight division, I guess Klitschko had an era. An era is a period of fucking time. Like a decade, okay? That's an era, a decade, okay? An era is a decade. It's not 2 years. It's a decade of dominance. Klitschko, I guess you could say, had an era, if you want to go with that within the heavyweight, but he didn't have no boxing era. He had a time where he was clearly the best heavyweight, no doubt about it, beating guy after guy after guy after guy. Nobody was wondering, who should Klitschko fight next, other than his brother, who he couldn't fight. So if you want to talk about the heavyweight era, then it was him. That was it. But even Tyson didn't have an era, because there was Holyfield, and he lost to Holyfield, right? Lennox Lewis didn't have an era. He had a couple of years where he was dominating. Klitschko, he couldn't fight his brother. But there's only really a few guys that had eras, okay? And AJ ain't one of them. He could have a UK era, like Joe Calzaghe. In my mind, he need to catch up with Joe Calzaghe for the UK era. He got to catch up with Joe Calzaghe, because Joe Calzaghe was the king of the 168-pound champion for a while, undefeated out in the UK. He made more money than Joe Calzaghe, but you got to catch up with Joe Calzaghe. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, what's going on, man? Anthony Johnson. Much love in the super chat, man. Oh, said that doesn't mean he has an era because he got a game named after him. Who was he talking about? Who had? Fannon. Tyson had an era, homie. No, he didn't. Game named after him. It's like paying 2K version of LeBron. No. Not an era. Not an era. Mike Tyson won all his major belts like within a span of 2 years turning pro. I think he had like 30 of his fights in the first 2 years. He defended a few times, and then he went to jail. Came back from jail, got out of jail, went back, fought a couple times, lost to Evander Holyfield. Lost to Evander Holyfield again. Mike Tyson is extremely famous. He's extremely popular, but he did not have a long time of domination of the heavyweight division. There was a period in time where people thought that he could not be beaten, without a doubt. But I'm sorry, lost to Buster Douglas. Then he went to jail. Matter of fact, let me just look up the dates here. So we don't have Mike Tyson is still famous. Mike Tyson's probably still the most recognized boxer alive. Okay, so Mike Tyson turned pro in 85. He lost to Buster Douglas in 1990. He won his first belt in 86 against Trevor Berbick. He got knocked out by Buster Douglas in 1990. By 1991, he came back. By 1991, he got put in jail. He came back 4 years later. So there's 6 years. He was a champion for 4 years. That is, let me see. Let me look here. I think that's less time. That might be around. That if Deontay Wilder will have been a champion as of right now, Deontay Wilder's reign, and as far as the amount of time he's reigned as a heavyweight champion, is equal to Mike Tyson's reign in the time frame that he was a champion. And Mike Tyson. Let me see how long Mike Tyson was. Mike Tyson was undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, though. Which is definitely a one-up on. He became undisputed real quick, though. IBF, WBA, and WBC, because the WBO didn't do. He became the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world 2 years after he turned pro. Damn, Mike got at it, boy. Dang, man, it's like a walk down memory lane. God, dog, that's what I'm talking about, Mike. Dog, that's what I'm talking about. Mike became the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world 2 years after he turned pro. 2 years. That's the big shit with Mike right there. God dog. And let me see. 2 years after he turned pro. Hold on, man. Let me check Joshua. So you guys talk about Joshua's legacy? No, homie. He ain't rolling. He ain't no Mike Tyson yet. That's for damn sure. Let's see. Mike Tyson, he turned pro 6 years ago. By the time he got a belt, by the time he won his first belt, Mike Tyson had already been the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Wow. Okay. There you go. And I don't think Mike Tyson had an era. I think he had 4 dominant years. That's not an era. Okay, that's 4 dominant years. But that tells you Mike about that shit, boy. Hey, hat off to Mike. Hats off to Mike. Because I never really even thought about it like that. Hats off to Mike. Mike Kane turned pro in 85. Had all the belts by 87. Oh, he walked in there, shit, wrecking house. I'm taking all this shit. No playing around. And to boot, this dude beat, how many Hall of Famers did this dude beat? That's a resume, dog. I ain't gonna bullshit you, man. Mike, hey, man, Mike did it, dude. For these dudes, right? For nowadays, because I'm pretty sure Ali might have, let me see. How many Hall of Famers did he beat doing this? Not just Holmes, Spinks. He beat the piss out of Bruno. Then he got bopped. Man, some good fights. Pinklin, Thomas. There's some good fights in there. Let's see how long it took Ali. Let's see how long it took Muhammad Ali to become the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. And this is what BoxRec is good for, dude. Okay? It is good for this. Because any of y'all clowns acting like you can keep this shit committed to memory, get out of my face. All right. So, Sonny List. Oh, snap. 4 years. 4 years. 4 years. And then Muhammad Ali was the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. And you know what is interesting? I think they changed his record. Because now they got WBA and WBC up in here. What the fuck did they do that for? It did not used to say this. They edited this to put WBA, WBC champion in here. Wow. Like he held 2 belts. They used to not have it in there like that, dude. WBA and WBC. They split, they changed this. WBA, WBC. All the way up to 1978. They used to not have it listed like that. There was only one champion. Heavyweight world champion is what that shit should say. But, you know, BoxRec. Who was pay-per-view before Mike? They've got people, Ali was, closed, so it was closed circuit TV before that. So, like, guys like Sugar Ray Leonard, guys like Sugar Ray Leonard and Hagler and Hearns, and Ali was on closed circuit. Yeah, that's crazy. They changed that, man. I can't stand these sanctioning bodies, dude. Straight up, dude. I can't stand sanctioning bodies. And they like to talk about money. Don't do it. Much love in the super chat, man. Bone Crusher Smith. Yep. Make sure to stay up on this. Stay up on this, man. We stay up on this. But look, man, I don't want it to say, oh, yeah, okay. Yes, sir. I got it. Cool. Yeah, man. I don't want to be like, dude, I don't like Anthony Joshua. But I don't like him because of y'all. Okay? I don't like him because of y'all. I don't know your names or your faces, but I'm associating you with that dude. I used to like him too. It was really, 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 really hard. It was hard to eat crow. I didn't like the fact that I had to eat all that crow for Anthony Joshua, dude. Yeah, I'm sorry. Hold on. Okay, cool. Sorry, I had to check out some work. Yeah, man. I mean, dude, you guys don't understand, man. How many damn times? Oh, who Ali was 22, and I just turned 22 years old, and AJ 28. By the way, will y'all stop acting like AJ's young? He's not. Anthony Joshua turns 30 years old next year. He turns 30 next year. Okay? 30. Ali was already in the Hall of Fame by that time. Mitch Green, Mitch Green. But hey, man, salute to my man. Patterson, Liston fought closed circuit separately and together. They were undisputed too. Thanks, St. Cruising. He said, Roy Jones Jr., damn it, Fannon don't like Roy. I love Roy. I'm a big fan of Roy Jones Jr. I'm a big fan of Roy Jones Jr. Why don't I like Roy Jones Jr.? I like Roy Jones Jr. No, he's 1 year younger. Fury is 30. So he turns 31 next year. Anthony Joshua is 29. He turns 30 next year. Wilder's 33. Fury is 30. And Anthony Joshua's 29. Anthony Joshua's not a young guy, man. He's not some spring chicken. Okay? He's A grown-ass man. All right. He's not somebody that is, he's not a 22-year-old. Okay. He's not a 22-year-old. I wish they'd take this shit back to 15 rounds too. Because they took that shit to 15 rounds. I'm telling you, them heavyweights would get smaller. 12 rounds helps these big ass dudes out. Floyd had an era. I guess so. Close to it. Close to it. Saying he's no young chicken, he's an old duck. I guess Floyd, I mean, I guess you could say that, but I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so. But if he did, he's not. See, here's the thing. Floyd's career, his prime was, Floyd is a different kind of guy, man. Floyd's career is something was spectacular, and then he got famous. He was spectacular, then he got famous. It's not like Floyd was over 30 years old and had been professional for like 30-something fights before he hit the mainstream. Okay? So like Floyd is, most of Floyd's career, Floyd was in the background to Oscar De La Hoya. Floyd spent most of his career fighting on Oscar De La Hoya's undercard. Okay? So, I mean, yes and no. Floyd, yes and no. Floyd's career is not like Anthony Joshua's career. Anthony Joshua jumped onto the scene. Well, first of all, it's not like it because he's over here, but his career is not like Mike Tyson's career. Mike Tyson jumped out the gates, boom, became big right away. And he carried that through his whole career. Okay? Floyd was on the back burner for 3/4 of his career. Right? 3/4. He was a second-tier fighter for 3/4 of his career. And then when he moved up, he became big. You know what I mean? So that's where like when he says, so let me give you the Floyd Mayweather time frame. Not diminishing what he's done at all, right? Not diminishing what he accomplished, because Floyd was a beast his whole career. Floyd was a beast his whole career. But the reason why I say, so he had 50 fights, right? And he's probably at the top of boxing for 12 fights. He's at the top. Actually, not that. He was at the top of boxing for less than that, because I'll take out McGregor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He got to the top of boxing at around 2000, after De La Hoya, right? So it's Ricky Hatton. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 fights. 11 fights. That's how long he was at the top of the sport, for 11 fights. Would you call 11 fights an era? Now that he fought once a year, okay? He fought once a year. So he fought once in 2011. Well, let me get to once. Actually, he took 2 years off after he made his money. So Hatton in 2007, then Juan Manuel Marquez, he came back. He wasn't at the top of boxing until he fought Oscar De La Hoya. He wasn't that way with Valdemir or Zab Judah, okay? He really didn't even hit the mainstream until Arturo Gatti in 2005, right? So then he had Mitchell, Judah, Valdemir, and then he really came up with Oscar De La Hoya, right? So then you have Ricky Hatton, Juan Manuel Marquez, Shane Mosley, Victor Ortiz, Cotto, Guerrera, Alvarez, two Maidanas, Pacquiao, and Berto. Okay? That was one fight a year. Well, he did two Yeah, so 13 through basically 4 years. Really, 2019 through 2015. Fighting once a year, once twice. So is that a era? I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure about that. It's a hell of a lot of money, but it's still 11 fights at the top of the sport. Where you take somebody like, obviously, when you want to talk about eras, you got to talk about Muhammad Ali. Or we'll go to Joe Louis, right? We'll go to Muhammad Ali first. Muhammad Ali had from 1964 to 1967, or basically 1964 through 1970 through 1978. It's 14 years. You got 4 years at the top of the sport versus 14 years at the top of the sport. And that's 14 years of being undisputed the number one guy in boxing. Floyd Mayweather Jr. had 4 years of being, without a doubt, the top guy in boxing. That's why I say Muhammad Ali had an era and Floyd Mayweather Jr. did not. Floyd Mayweather Jr. made more money than anybody else did in those 11 fights. Right? But he did not. He certainly wasn't the top man in boxing before Oscar De La Hoya, because that was Oscar De La Hoya, that was Mike Tyson, that was Roy Jones Jr., those guys. There was a point in time where Floyd Mayweather Jr. was a bit of an underling to maybe like Acelino Freitas. Like Acelino Freitas was somebody, if you guys remember him, that they were trying to really push out there. He was definitely underneath Sugar Shane Mosley, Felix Tito Trinidad, Bernard Hopkins, guys like that. He was still below those guys at a point in time. Definitely Roy Jones Jr. So, that's why I'm like, Brian Erla, Fannon, money-wise, it was 4 years, but as a boxer, he was seen as the best for a long time. No, he wasn't. No, he was not. Floyd Mayweather Jr., I'll tell you when Floyd Mayweather Jr. first started having conversations about being the best boxer. Hold on. Floyd Mayweather Jr., because I'm going to get the dates here. Floyd Mayweather Jr. started being talked about as being the best fighter in the world. I'm going to pull up two guys next to each other. Roy Jones Jr. Let's see when Roy Jones Jr. lost to Tarver. Roy Jones Jr. lost to Antonio Tarver in 2004. All right, so Floyd probably became number one pound for pound in my book right around 2004. That was about 3 years. So 2004, I think he's pound for pound best. 2004 through 2000, maybe 10 years. 10 years, man, I guess that is the best, where I thought he was the best pound for pound. But a lot of people didn't. They gave that to Manny Pacquiao. And when did people say Manny Pacquiao was the best? I don't believe it. But Manny Pacquiao, there was arguments about who was the best pound for pound fighter from the time Manny Pacquiao fought Oscar De La Hoya, which was in 2009, right? And I don't even know, really, there were people who were putting Juan Manuel Marquez up before that. So now, I mean, dude, there was not a real big point in time, dog, I thought Floyd Mayweather Jr. was probably the best fighter pound for pound since Diego Corrales, personally, for Diego Corrales. But definitely since Roy Jones Jr. got knocked out by Tarver. That's when for pound. But even pound for pound doesn't make the era. Okay? Because Sugar Ray Robinson is who pound for pound was created for. Right? He was pound for pound all through the 40s and 50s. But nobody was giving him, that's why they had to, but it was Joe Louis. It was Joe Louis's era. You know? Roy Jones Jr. was the best pound for pound fighter for years. Wasn't his era. You know? He wasn't a. Anyway, Floyd ain't the best all time. Fuck off, dude. Dale McCray, I'm sorry for that call saying that Dale McCray. I didn't mean to tell you to fuck off, but stop. He is not the best all time, dude. He is not the best all time. Or there's nothing anybody can tell me to make me believe that. Boxing's been around for 200 years, man. Been around for hundreds of years. Stop with that. He's not. He doesn't deserve that. That's an insult, man. That's an insult to so many boxers, man. There's no reason that dude should be considered better. Man, Sugar Ray Robinson fought at welterweight. He beat the brakes off of Floyd Mayweather Jr. The brakes off of him. But y'all keep giving it to him if you want to give it to him. Cornelius Littlejohn, Manny's career was padded. Okay. Leonard Ellerbreeze knows. What's good, man? But look, man, but here's the thing, man. Obviously, I want to communicate this too. It's not me hating on Floyd. I mean, dude, Floyd is a great fighter. But give people the credit that I believe in giving people the credit that they deserve, that at least I believe they deserve. And I want to give credit to not more credit than they deserve, okay? Give them credit that they deserve, not more credit than they deserve. And there are some boxers, like, there's not a lot of film on Charlie Burley. But man, Charlie Burley can fight, dog. God, dog. Most people on the stream probably don't even know who he is. Man, that dude can fight, man. That dude can fight. Just wow, I'm like, wow, this dude can fight. Very calculating. Man, oh man, I love watching just the small bit of tape that you have out there on him. Love him. Love what he can do in the ring. You know? But we live in an era where you try to sell greatness. You label something as great and you go from there. You know what I mean? And you guys ain't seen them, so you guys believe it. J Bird 904 in the building. What's good, man? LDBC is having an era. Hey, dog. Hey, we're going to push on it, huh? We're going to push on it. Yeah, I think you also got to retire before you say that. But Floyd Mayweather Jr. is obviously, it's going to be hard. Oh, Dale McCray said, I know you're going to get mad. Much love in the super chat, man. Oh, dog. Yeah, you got me. First of all, he needs to stop stealing. Ali shine. Stop. All y'all bums need to stop. All you bums need to stop stealing Ali's shine. Stop it. Stop calling Tom Brady he's the GOAT. Fuck Tom Brady. Ali whooped Tom Brady's ass. Hey, standing up there behind a line of a bunch of other dudes throwing a fucking football. Fuck out of here, man. GOAT. He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. Man, I wish Ali would have trademarked GOAT, trademarked greatest of all time. Anytime y'all say that shit, y'all got to pay that dude his money. Damn shame what y'all do. Because I'm the ultimate, I'm an Ali fanboy. All right, I'm an Ali fanboy. I know who the GOAT is. I know who the greatest of all time is. I know the guy that looked at the camera and said, stop. Dog, this is my favorite moment of all. Stop. Silence. I told you. Dog, this dude pimp slapped the world. Y'all need to go watch that tape. After Ali beat Foreman, he said, stop. Silence. I told you I was the greatest of all time. I told you never to doubt me. Dog, who can do that shit? Dude, the two greatest speeches in heavyweight history, dude. Muhammad Ali in the ring when he beat Sonny Liston, when he said, God's with me, can't nobody be against me. Dog, listen to that dude go off. He's telling you to your face. Then, 10 years later, after he already lost twice, everybody thought he was down, everybody thought he was out, thought he was gone. He's like 100-1 underdog fighting in Africa. Beat the piss out that young boy. Told you, I'm the greatest. Now, somebody tell me a Floyd Mayweather Jr. moment where he was like 101 underdog against a vicious knockout artist, beats the piss out of him for the second time in his career. Huh? Let's not talk about these bullshit moments, Let's talk about Muhammad Ali having a James Buster Douglas moment twice. You remember James Buster Douglas? James Buster Douglas knocked out Mike Tyson, right? Everybody's like, oh, this fight's going to be easy. Mike Tyson's going to knock out James Buster Douglas. He's going to knock out Buster Douglas. All right. I'm not even going to watch the fight tonight. I'm going to go out and have some drinks, whatever. You wake up in the morning, you're like, damn, Tyson lost? That style shit. You know, like, what would have happened if Victor Ortiz knocked out Floyd Mayweather? That is how big that fight was. You tell me any other boxer that did that shit twice in his career. Did it one time, fucked around and dominated everybody, got fucked over, came back, lost, did it again, and then proceeded to dominate everybody again. Ali had two Hall of Fame careers, two of them. You tell me anybody else in boxing that has ever done any shit like that. And you will never find the answer to that question because it didn't happen ever. And you can't tell me winning as a favorite is one thing. Winning as a favorite is one thing. Winning when you are 100-1 underdog is something completely fucking different. So you got a cat who not only is by many people's measure the best heavyweight that ever fought, he also has two of the biggest upsets in heavyweight history. Fuck Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather ain't never done no shit like that. Never. AJ ain't never done no shit like that. Never. Okay? Roy Jones Jr. ain't never done no shit like that. Ever. De La Hoya ain't never done no shit like that. Joe Louis never did no shit like that. Jack Johnson never did no shit like that. Sugar Ray Leonard never did no shit like that. Sugar Ray Robinson do no shit like that. Fuck all y'all. Ali's the greatest. No doubt about it. Hands fucking down. And all y'all can sit and spin on that bullshit. I'm telling you, I challenge anybody to tell me somebody who 2 times overcame over 100-1 odds to knock out an undefeated, maybe Sonny Liston might have had a loss earlier in his career, an undefeated motherfucker who was a knockout monster. The only person that you can tell me that has really done that shit, I'll tell you the motherfuckers that have done that shit. Once. Oliver McCall did that shit. Oliver McCall did it when he knocked out Lennox Lewis. And Lennox Lewis wasn't even no knockout artist. But Oliver McCall did it once. Hasim Rahman did it once. Corey Sanders did it once. Layman Brewster did it once. James Buster Douglas, so I didn't mention it, did it once. Once. Did they do it twice? Fuck no. They never did it twice. And they damn sure didn't do it twice to the same guy. Because quiet as kept, Ali did it 3 times. Because then he knocked out Liston twice. And then, not only that, came back and dominated everybody in the fucking sport. So I don't want to hear this shit about about somebody's the greatest, fucking Mayweather's the greatest of all time. Fuck out of here, man. When you so goddamn good that you can be an underdog and still whoop somebody's ass, that's Ali. I'm telling you. Y'all can't nobody tell me anybody. I'm daring you. I got money. I got money on it. I'm going to put a bet out there. You tell me somebody that had a better career than Muhammad Ali. And that bullshit, that's why I don't even fuck with Floyd. I don't even fuck with Floyd. Floyd said some stupid shit like, yeah, but he lost to Leon Spinks. He lost to Leon Spinks, and I never lost. Yeah, motherfucker, you also ain't never beat nobody that you should have fought. You ain't never beat anybody that you should have lost to. Take your ass up there and fight Gennady Golovkin and knock out Gennady Golovkin. The odds of Floyd Mayweather Jr. beating Gennady Golovkin are smaller than the odds of Muhammad Ali beating George Foreman, and smaller than the odds of Ali beating Liston. You think Floyd would have went up there and did that shit? Hell no. This is prize fighting. I ain't going up there to fight that big ass dude. Fuck out of here with all that bullshit. Oh, Mike McCallum, Floyd is the greatest boxer of all time. Fuck out of here. He ain't the greatest, but he ain't even close. He's not close. Okay? His daddy be looking funny when he says that shit. Let me tell you, man, what my dad, this is why he got that way. Hell yeah, I am. I ain't hating on Ali. I mean, I'm hating on Mayweather. Damn, what you want me to tell you? You want me to be like, damn, dude, Floyd got more money than Bill Gates? Dude, if I made this argument about Bill Gates, I'd be like, look, man, Bill Gates dude might have $100 billion. Who the fuck knows how much money he got? He got so much money that he don't even know how much money he got. All right, that dude got so much money. If he dropped $1,000 bill behind him, it wouldn't be worth his time to turn around and pick it up. That's how much money Bill Gates has. If I tell you Bill Gates got more money than Floyd Mayweather Jr., am I hating on Floyd? No, I'm not hating. That's just what it is. The fact of the matter is that Ali from 1964 to 1968 was the biggest name in all of sports. From 1970 to 1983, 84, he's probably one of the biggest names in the world. Okay? Period. Not just sports. There wasn't no, who knows Ali? Is some Dr. J more famous than Ali? No, he wasn't. Okay? Those guys ran around asking him for autographs. It's not like that with Floyd. And in the ring, definitely not, dog. There's something to overcoming odds, man. But y'all go ahead and do what you want to do, because trust me, in about 3 years, there's going to be somebody that gets a bigger paycheck than Floyd got, and then they're going to be the greatest of all time. And you guys are going to have to listen to some young dudes be like, what? This dude can't even, AJ's greater than Floyd. You'll hear it. Y'all will hear it. Hell yeah, I get hyped behind Ali. That's me. That's fanboyism. But it's also facts. Facts. Popularity doesn't make you a better boxer. No, it doesn't. But guess what? Get in a ring. Who you got? Ali, Mayweather in a fight. Who you got? Name one. Who fought better competition? Ali. Who was a longer reigning champion? Ali. Who had more fighter of the years? Ali. Who would whoop whose ass? Ali. So put Floyd Mayweather little ass in there and get his ass whooped. Okay? I don't hear that shit. There's almost nothing other than the amount of money that the guy made that compares. There's nothing about him that compares other than the amount of money he made. And even that is questionable, because you can do a comparison of the total, how much money did he make versus what other athletes make. So Floyd, if you do non-boxing athletes, right? So you say, who's the top basketball player in the world? Who's the top money earner in the world? Now, whoever that guy is, it's probably Tiger Woods or LeBron James. How much money have they made in their career, right? And then compare that to the top money-making non-boxing athlete when Ali was around, okay? And then solve for that. And then see that Ali made more money than everybody in sports. By far, like 3 times as much money as any other athlete was making. So you take what another athlete's making, the highest non-paid athlete in sports today, multiply that times 3 and give that credit to Ali. Do you realize, do you know what Bob Arum said about Ali if he was fighting? I think he said it in like maybe 6 years ago. He said if Muhammad Ali was fighting today, they'd have to pay that dude billions. They couldn't afford to pay him. That's how big he is. If Ali was fighting, think about this. If Ali was fighting today, somebody as popular as Muhammad Ali was fighting today on pay-per-view at $100 a pop, Ali could do 2.5. Ali could fight anybody for 4 million pay-per-views. If Ali, as popular as he was in the black community in America, and this is just black people in America, tell me I'm wrong about this. If Muhammad Ali was as popular now as he was then in black America, he could do 4 million pay-per-views his fucking self at $100 a pop. Easy. Easy. That's why I'm saying get out of here with the money talk. Ali versus somebody might do 5 million pay-per-views. He's the most famous guy in the world. He makes so much, he was so popular that they might just say, you know what? We'll just pay you. We won't even do pay-per-view. He's that famous. Ali is the most famous person in the world. How many pay-per-views do you think the most famous person in the world would do? At $100 a pop. Okay? He would be in the household of every black American. Okay? Not everyone, because they would have the parties. Okay? I suspect that he could do, without fighting anybody, 3 million pay-per-views without doing anything. 3 million pay-per-views just fighting anybody. 3 million fighting anybody. If Floyd Mayweather Jr. is fighting nobody, he's doing 300,000 pay-per-views. You have to have two big people come together because Ali was popular with every fucking body. Keep that in mind. Ali was Black Jesus. Dog, it's different time, different schmine. He's the most popular dude in the world, dude. The dude was more popular than musicians. He's more popular than Michael Jackson. More popular than Michael Jackson. You guys just don't know. You guys just don't know, dog. You can't, David. You can't make it. You can make a case, but your shit will suck. Okay, let me tell you, you can make a case, but your case will suck. All right? It's going to suck. Nah, dog, I ain't shitting on Floyd. Y'all shitting on Ali by comparing them to him. Stop shitting on Ali. You shitting on Ali. If I was comparing, here's shitting on Floyd. If I compare Vasily Lomachenko to Floyd Mayweather Jr., I'm shitting on Floyd. Okay? That's shitting on Floyd. He's got 2 Olympic gold medals. Floyd Mayweather has none. Every fight he's ever been in has been a championship fight in his career. Even the first one was for a secondary belt. He's got better speed, better angles, better footwork. He's a better fighter. He's greater than any fighter since Ali. That's what Bob Arum said about Vasily Lomachenko. That, if I agreed with that, that would be shitting on Floyd. It would be. If I said that Floyd Mayweather Jr. was not as good a fighter as Oscar De La Hoya, I think that would be shitting on Floyd. Okay? That's shitting on Floyd. I don't shit on Floyd. I'm going to give him the credit that he's due. But the fact of the matter is he's not the most famous man on the planet. He's not. Okay? What do you want me to tell you? Is he? Is he the most famous man on the planet? Is he going to get paid? Is he? No. I don't think he is. You tell me. Who's the most famous man on the planet right now? Is Floyd Mayweather more famous than Michael Jackson? Is Floyd Mayweather as loved as Ali was loved? Is he loved at all? Is he? You know he's not. You know he's not. Ali has not fought in 40 fucking years and still is the most recognized name in boxing. There is nobody who knows who Floyd Mayweather Jr. is that does not know who Muhammad Ali is. Nobody. Nobody. And you can live with that, dog. I'm sorry. I'm not going to disrespect Floyd Mayweather Jr. by comparing Vasily Lomachenko to him. That's no comparison. I'm not going to disrespect Floyd Mayweather Jr. by comparing Devin Haney to him. I'm not going to disrespect Floyd Mayweather Jr. by comparing Errol Spence to him. I'm not going to be disrespecting him by comparing Terrence Crawford to him, Sean Porter to him, Canelo Alvarez to him, Andre Ward to him, Anthony Joshua to him, Deontay Wilder to him. I could go on and on and on about the people that I would not disrespect Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s career accomplishments by comparing theirs to his. I can do it for person after person after person after person. But there is a difference between somebody being great, because Floyd Mayweather Jr. is without a doubt great. He is not the greatest. He's no way, no shape, no how is he the greatest. He's great. He's not the greatest. And what you guys might miss is you say the greatest. Okay? I knew this is some shit that Ali did that you can't tell me Floyd Mayweather, because Floyd Mayweather Jr. Let me explain. Let me do something for you. Oh man, I'm missing these super chats. After that, I'm gonna share something with you. Okay, something that if you hear me say this shit, Ali is simply greater by being a heavyweight. The best heavyweight is the best fighter. Body snatcher, no doubt about it. Ascension Sports TV Ascension. Just a question. Was he more famous than Michael Jackson or Jordan, really? Yes. Absolutely he was. D-Lo 404, and there wasn't no Twitter back with AJ, then AJ fans. Nope. Deleted message, you must have dissed somebody. Yep. This is for boxing fans. Yes, sir. Look. Straight up, was he more famous than Michael Jordan? Yes, he was. Absolutely, he was. And you know why this is? Because they took pictures with him. Ali, you got to remember what Ali did. Ali ended the draft. He's responsible for ending the draft in the United States. He is somebody who was an icon because of something that he did. What made him the most famous, he's a great fighter, but the thing that made him the most famous was when he walked away from boxing by refusing to go into the draft. That's what made him recognized throughout the world. Something that was outside the realm of boxing, inside the realm of politics. So people who weren't, you want to talk about getting casual fans? He was the casual fan, the ultimate guy in getting casual fans, because young white people stopped signing up for the draft. Right? His case went to the Supreme Court and they overturned it. And after that, you haven't had a draft since then. Yes, he was more famous. He was the most famous person in the world. People that were close to that, Michael Jordan and Michael Jackson were. Michael Jackson was probably closer to that, but Michael Jordan was up there too. But Ali was bigger than Michael Jordan. That just tells you Michael Jordan. That's how is Floyd Mayweather Jr. Michael Jordan? In my estimation, that's how you compare it. That's a better. Maybe that will make more sense to you. That is Floyd Mayweather Jr. Michael Jordan. No, he's not. He's not Michael Jordan. Ali was Michael Jordan before there was a Michael Jordan, and I suspect a little bump up on that. That's how Joe Louis was like that. Joe Louis in America with black people were like that. But here's the thing. As far as what happened in the ring, this is when you know the next dude that does this if I'm roughly the same age as Floyd Mayweather Jr. We're in the same generation, me and Floyd Mayweather Jr. So my dad is the same age, a little bit older than Muhammad Ali. So he knew of Muhammad Ali when he was Cassius Clay. He knew him when he changed his name, right? All the fights, all that stuff. And my dad's a boxing fan. And he said to me, he's like, look, I was never big on Ali, but I'll tell you when I was big on Ali. This is for him, right? He's like, look, man, this is when I knew that dude he really was everything that he said he was. After the George Foreman fight. He's like, son, I'm telling you, everybody knew he was going to get killed. The question was, how bad was he going to get hurt? Because he couldn't move like he used to move. He had lost to Joe Frazier. He had lost to Ken Norton. And everybody was just waiting around like, when is he going to lose? I mean, how bad is he going to get hurt? But when we woke up in the morning and in the papers, it said that he knocked out George Foreman, everybody knew it then. Everybody knew it then. Everybody who was saying, because remember, there were people who were like, Joe Louis is the greatest heavyweight of all time. Joe Louis is the greatest fighter of all time, right? That's what everybody was on during Ali's time. But when he did that, the vast majority of the people that thought Joe Louis was the greatest heavyweight ever changed their mind. It was like, no, dude, this dude is something ridiculous, because he was supposed to get killed. And this is the second time he's done it. It's like that, dude. I'm telling you, it's that big. It was that big in the minds of hardcore boxing fans. They were like, he's not fundamentally sound. He kind of like Deontay Wilder. He has, he doesn't sit down on his punches. He moves too much. And when he lost, and that's how he was able to win, fighting like a chicken. Because they were like, oh, he fights like a chicken. That's why he beat Liston, because he still had detractors. He only beat Liston because, he could run around like a chicken with his head cut off and tap him in the head, and they weren't really big on him. But when older people who were older than him and his contemporaries saw him beat George Foreman, they were like, no. They threw in the towel on the argument. My dad said he threw in the towel on the argument. Because my dad he said he couldn't stand Ali. He's like, he wanted George Foreman to beat the shit out of him. He's like, he wanted George Foreman to beat him. He's like, no, I got to give it up. He's like, I got to give it up. That's the man. That's kind of, when you hear, if you hear somebody my age, somebody the same age as Floyd Mayweather Jr., or somebody who's older than Floyd Mayweather Jr. say that about Floyd Mayweather Jr., you don't hear that. You hear that about Floyd Mayweather Jr. from people who saw Floyd Mayweather Jr. from Oscar de la Hoya on. Not even cats that saw him from Emmanuel Augustus on. People who are roughly the same age as him. It wasn't like that. It's just, you have to have lived through both eras to know it, to be able to compare them. And I was at the tail end of Muhammad Ali's. I was at the beginning. I was born in the beginning of Ali's second era, right? The cats that were in the first didn't believe in him. He wasn't like that. They were like, dang, when he did that draft thing, they were like, yeah, man, dude's got some principle to him or whatever. But that's not the thing that really kicked him over with boxing fans. Foreman kicked him over with boxing fans. But that's just some history for you, dog, He said, I'm 42. No, Don Elcotto said, I'm 42. No comparison of Ali Mayweather. No, it's not. The Hall report, a lot of blacks hated Ali because he was a diehard Muslim. Yeah, in the beginning, yeah. He wasn't very popular in the first half of it. He wasn't popular until after the draft and after Foreman. Then it was like, shit's a fucking rap. And then people had to act. They had to act like they liked him. They had to act like still didn't like him, but they at least had to act like it because he killed it. It was a rap. You know what I mean? It was a rap. It was a rap. At a certain point in time, St. Cruz said, I had tears running down my face watching Ali KO Foreman. Oh my God, man. When he spun around off them ropes, Wow, dog. I was like, wow. I mean, I was a little itty bitty kid, man, so I didn't see it on the replay. So to get the feeling of it, I had to be, it was years after it had happened. But man, look, the more I get to know boxing, the more I watch like more and more generations fight, there are certain people that are just very, very special. They're very, very special. They're very, very special people. And that's not always just because they're skilled. You have to be, in my opinion, you have to be put in a situation you have to be a special person, put in a special circumstance. And there were a lot of things around Ali that were not about him, and as much about the moment in society in large that he was put up on, that he was a part of. The whole civil rights movement, the whole Vietnam War, all of that stuff, man. There was just a lot of political, social change going on. And then, he had just had a personality, and it's really, dude, special times breed special people. You know what I'm saying? Special times breed special people. In my opinion, there was somebody else that was kind of like that in Black America, like Marcus Garvey. Like, for people that don't know Black history very much, or American history very much, one of the most influential but least talked about people ever in our history is Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey was probably more impactful than any other quote unquote Black leader in American history. The movement that he started, and the amount of followers that he had, and his vision his vision was, it was very, very, very radical. It was very, very disturbing to a lot of people, and it's not really talked about a lot in mainstream history. We focus more on Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, and the conversations that go on around civil rights and integration and things like that. But that movement, that empowerment, separatist movement in the mid 1910, what is it, 1910 to like 1920, very, very influential stuff, but it's not talked about a lot, man. So anyway, there's a lot of stuff to it, man. But Floyd's a great fighter, though. Don't get me wrong. I'm not just like, it's just tough on me when. Exactly. Michael Johnson said, "Oh man, welcome back." Michael Johnson said, "Ali even went to Iraq to free some Americans." He said, "Fannon, to this very day, I still collect Ali T-shirts. They don't get Ali's popularity impact. No, they don't." Ascension Sports TV and Arena TV, Ascension Arena. Can you compare Roy Jones Jr. to Mayweather talking money out of the equations? Do you believe who would be? I believe you can. Who would you think? Oh, Roy Jones Jr. taking the money out of it. I think Roy Jones Jr. is a better athlete and a better overall talent. I think Floyd Mayweather Jr. is the better fighter, to tell you the truth. Roy is at his peak. If Roy is 100% Roy, he's a terror, man. He's just such a gifted athlete. Like, okay, here you go. Ali, I think, was a special athlete. Like, kind of like Michael Jordan was a special athlete. Usain Bolt is a special athlete. Tiger Woods is a special athlete in golf. It's just a special Pele, special athlete, right? I think Roy Jones Jr. is a special athlete. Like his reflexes, his speed, his strength, his vision, super special. So I would put him, I think he's more talented than Floyd Mayweather Jr. Now, Floyd Mayweather Jr. is a gifted athlete, right? I just don't think he's as gifted as Roy. But I think that he is a better boxer. I think that he had better. I think that he had a better. He's technically a more sound boxer. He took more risks. He took less risks than Roy Jones, which allowed him, when his athleticism declined, to continue to beat guys that were younger and more and fresher than him. Okay, so at the height of their ability, I think Roy Jones Jr. was better. When Roy Jones Jr.'s athleticism was at its peak. But overall, I would have to go with Floyd Mayweather Jr. as being the better fighter. That makes sense to you. That's money out of it. At their peak, Roy was probably better at the absolute best Roy ever was. At the absolute best he ever was, I think he was better than Floyd was at the absolute best Floyd was. But I think that amount of time that Floyd was at his best and the decline of Floyd off that physical aspects made him the better fighter over time, right? So kind of like Roy Jones and Bernard Hopkins. Roy was a better fighter at his absolute best, was a better fighter and would have beat Bernard Hopkins when I think Bernard Hopkins was close to his best. But because of the style that Bernard Hopkins had, this tendency to make less mistakes, rely less on his reflexes, he spent a longer amount of time at the peak. But Roy, at his peak, was a shining star, a special athlete, man, a special athlete. That's my take on it, man. Fighting with his hands down, using leaping punches. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. Oh, Malcolm's father was under Marcus Garvey. Yeah. Sorry to repeat myself. What do you think of Pale and Don Braidman? Who was Pale? And I'm not sure you're talking about with Don Braidman. Roy Jones had the whole 90s hip-hop culture behind him, man. He was a hell of a fighter. Don't forget John Henrik Clarke and Dr. Ben. Are you talking about them? Yeah, they're historians. They chronicle the histories. Dr. Ben was more like Egyptology, though. Dr. Clarke, and I was very blessed to have been lectured by Dr. Clarke. Like, a lot of people can say they know who John Henrik Clarke is, but I sat in class with John Henrik Clarke. I sat in class. Well, it was more like it was in a hall. It was in a hall. Third row from the front, center. Listen to John Henrik Clarke. And they held him in such high reverence. And Stokely Carmichael, Kwame passed away. I've changed his name to Kwame Toure. Was lectured by him a couple times. Dudes, as Black Fight Fan TV say, they pissed excellence. Fannon, he means Pele, the soccer player. Oh, Fannon. Oh, what I think of Pele? Man, look, I'm not a big soccer fan. I cannot say that I know a lot about soccer. But Pele was right up underneath Ali. And it's one of the most famous people in the world because he was such an exceptional soccer player. And I don't know how many World Cups he won, but his name was, but see where I'm from, soccer wasn't that huge. But it was never bigger in America than when Pele was there. And when Pele came to play with, like, I can't really play for LA or something like that. But Pele was huge, man. Pele was huge. But that tells you is whoever the biggest soccer player in the world is, Ali was still bigger than Pele was. But I don't know if Floyd was loved around the world and as big as the top soccer player in the world. The soccer is the biggest sport in the world. You know? Yeah, Kwame Toure was, man. He was a brilliant guy, man. I remember a lecture that he gave. It was like a metaphysical lecture, man. He talked about how, like, you always need conflict. Like the necessity of conflict in nature, not just physical, but in like political, economic, other areas of life. So he talked about, putting a pressure on the status quo by demonstrating, by, right? But then he compared it, to a table, and how if you don't have two opposing forces working together, this table wouldn't stand up. So I just remember him he's just a really, really brilliant dude. He was a very reflective guy. And man, he walked around my college campus, man. It was like not a lot of people knew who he was, man. But when he came and he gave those lectures, man, we went to that hall, sat up in that classroom, ate up every bit, man. Ate up every bit. I've been very fortunate, man, to been lectured by some people that were real, that now you see on YouTube and things like that because they passed. Because now they're not with us anymore. But I was fortunate enough to be able to sit in class with them, and Kwame Ture was one of the people that I say, man, I really feel blessed that I was able to talk to, man, that I was able to like be in the same room as. Same thing for Dr. Henry Clark, John Henry Clark. I felt like I was, at the time, I really didn't know who he was, right? And I was listening to what he said, man, and he was such a no-nonsense guy, man. Like, he was such a no-nonsense guy, man. He was so lofty. Like, I'm telling you, man, I was in a room with it was like Bernie Bickerstaff was there. It was in D.C. It was in D.C., and so there was members from the Congressional Black Caucus were there. So you had like state congressmen. There were no black senators, anybody at the time. So you had people like Carol Moseley Braun. You had different. I think Francis Cress Wellesley was in the audience, but just a lot of what's his name too, like the guy that wrote Beyond the Mayflower, right? But it was an academic setting. And the respect for John Henry Clark was so above and beyond everybody else that you really got a sense of like, what do I not know? That's what I felt like. I felt like, why don't I know who this is? Like, why don't I know who this is? Because nobody lifted. I'm telling you, Cornell West was there. Right, you had guys who were like Harvard-educated PhDs. They were arguing. I can't remember what the topic of debate was, but at the time, it was most likely somewhere around like Afrocentrism, and whether or not we should be called African Americans. Jesse Jackson was there. That type of shit. And I was a law school student at the time, just sitting in the audience, and there was no doubt who the man was in that room. There was no doubt who the man was in that room. And I'm going to tell you, he lit off on Farrakhan. Dog, he lit off on Farrakhan. I'm going to put it this way. John Henry Clark is a guy that Louis Farrakhan would not have dared step on a podium with and talked. Louis Farrakhan wouldn't walk in a room with the guy. He's that dude is that thorough, man. And I know I'm probably losing the chat at this time, but they wouldn't talk. So you guys know that he's a historian. He's a historian with like an encyclopedic knowledge of history from about 3500 AD. I mean, about 3500 BC to the 1992. He's blind he's blind at the time. And so you know who he was? He was Malcolm X's historian. So when you see Malcolm X, remember how people might not remember this, but if you go overlook and see Malcolm X debating people at Harvard or debating people at and crushing historians, it was because that guy was the one that was giving him his cliff notes. And Malcolm X knew what to say he was great at debating, but this is the guy that would give him his shit. So if somebody wanted to debate him, he would bring up Belgium, King Leopold, and the chopping off of hands, and the Papal Bull of 1562. Dude was just a beast, man. Dude was a beast, and he came from he was a guy who was around a lot during the Harlem Renaissance. So he was somebody that was schooled under W.E.B. Du Bois and like the Black Historical Society of Harlem during the Harlem Renaissance. The cat was just, he's a monster, man. He's a monster. Sorry about that, man. Clark hated Farrakhan because Farrakhan was close to Malcolm X. No, he called him a fake. No, he thought they were fakes. I don't say he hated Farrakhan because of that. No, he thought, dude, I'm telling you, this cat's famous speech was, I'll debate my equals, everybody else I teach. And when you're a historian and you have people telling you things and you know the actual story and they don't know the story, it's very difficult to debate them on what happened. And that's what a lot of people do. They talk about the history to justify their view of the present. But the equal of John Henry Clark is this guy. I'm going to tell you, there's an equal to John Henry Clark, Neely Fuller Jr. Because Neely Fuller Jr., if Neely Fuller Jr. debated John Henry Clark, John Henry Clark probably couldn't do anything with him. I promise you. And this guy never went to college. He was in the Army because his viewpoint is this. I only want to hear about the history to know what the mistakes were. We use history to determine what the mistakes are. And we fix those mistakes. So he's never going to argue with you about what happened in the past. He's going to talk about what the world is right now and how you solve your problems based on where you are right now and what the reality is right now, and using logic and using a codified approach to solving your problems right now. So you are never going to be able to, it's like if you want to fight, if you had a match between John Henry Clark and Farrakhan, or John Henry Clark and Kwame Ture, or John Henry Clark and these guys, they're going to rely upon history. And politics is a side point of history because you understand the politics too. Right? So you're fighting him in his own area. This guy took this shit somewhere else. So on the real, man, I mean, there's something that Black Fight Fan TV said. Let me check my time, man. Also, join the Patreon. Dog, we can have these kind of conversations on the Patreon. And some of you young cats, I can tell you, I can help you with some of this. Okay? And I believe I can help you by eliminating the cats that you just don't spend a lot of time listening to them. I'm not going to mention names, but Black Fight Fan TV said something I thought was very interesting on his live stream. And now we're off the boxing conversation, and I'm going to get back to, and I'm going to wrap it up on this type of topic, right? And then I'm going to get out of it. But please go join the Patreon so I can have free conversations about this, man, because this should be boxing. But it's here. There's a lot of people that a lot of topics and a lot of things that are confusing and are distracting. What Black Fight Fan TV said on his channel the other day, man, I thought it was brilliant, and his observation he made, I thought was excellent. He said that, look, man, you guys are all smart, you know, you can tell me about the history of Kush. You can tell me all the history, all this stuff that happened. And, you know, you can break down like, you know, how the food, you know, what's happening and why there's estrogen in the food. You can go through all that conversation, right? But I want to know, but what we need is soldiers, right? That's what he said. Soldiers, somebody in the street about to do something. Okay. Now, the first part of it, the second part, I'm not sure exactly what he's referring to. The first part of that equation, as far as the soldiers, I'm not sure what he's referring to, so I can't speak on that. But the first part about all that stuff, he's 100% right, because that's just confusing. Whether or not I am black or whether I'm the original Hebrew is confusing to me. And I could study and talk all day and spend months and months and months and months and months trying to figure that out. Reading every Bible verse. In the meantime, though, what progress am I making in my life? Right? What progress am I making in my life? How does that help me in living a constructive life and overcoming an unfair system that oppresses people? How does that knowledge help me fix the problem that I have? So what I posit is understanding it is good to the extent that it helps you understand the mistakes that you made that got you here. Okay? me going back, throwing my history, right, and saying what I did in track and field, what I did in former jobs and all that stuff, it doesn't do me any good to reflect on that. The good old days, right? Because the good times are bad, but I got problems that I have right now. How can I reflect on my personal history and see what went wrong? What went wrong? Why do I weigh too much, right? Why do I need to lose weight right now? Well, it's because I kept eating and I didn't exercise. That was a mistake that I made when I was 19, 20, 21, 22. Let me solve those problems. Let me look at the past and solve those problems. And so then I don't have them in the past and I can continue to overcome problems, because life in large part is about overcoming difficulties. It's about overcoming problems. It's about making the right choices, right? And how do you make the right choices? By trying to just figure out whether what you're thinking, speaking, or doing is constructive, and whether it helps build something, helps move you towards your goals. You know what I mean? So that's where I say when I was younger, all of that stuff really helped me, because it helped me sort out a lot of confusion. I got to understand, okay, we do have a history. Okay, I'm not, half of my family weren't monkeys swinging from trees, cannibals and degenerates who were saved. And, oh, this is the story that they're telling me, and that's why it didn't set right with me. It helped me understand that, right? But doing that didn't help me solve my problems, right? It helped eliminate some confusion. But now I got to figure out how to solve my problems. And for me, the historical side of it and all that is very good to understand, and it's invaluable to understand. Now to apply that knowledge in a practical manner that allows me to solve my problems and become more constructive is what I need to do now. And the sooner we move from understanding the history to dealing with the present in a constructive and productive manner, the better. Because that can generate absolute positive results in your life today and tomorrow and the next day, and help you prevent problems. But similar to, you having to work yourself up to something, you probably do need to understand understand that stuff in general, so that you can have a better viewpoint on life, to accept the reality that you live in, but understand what that reality is, but then compensate for those negative factors. Damn, I didn't want to get into that, dog. But look, I talk about that type of stuff on my Patreon channel, and that's why I want to have a boxing channel, because you can still talk about this within the context of boxing, because it's one of the areas of human activity. So there you go, dog. You're a man from Grenada. What's good? Sean Snowden, love that line. I debate my equals, I teach everybody else. Yeah, that's what it is. And you got to realize that sometimes when you're not somebody's equal and they can teach you. That's another trick in life. Recognize when you're not somebody's equal and then they can teach you. But if you think that you know everything, you're always going to be debating and you'll never learn. And that goes both ways, right? So when I'm talking, I've had so many conversations with people about agreements around Eddie Hearn. And I'm like, look, man, I'm not debating with you. I'm trying to teach you. Okay? I don't know what those agreements say specifically, so I can't tell you what they say, but there are certain things that I know you don't understand based on what you say. So let me explain those things to you. But many people don't want to hear it. They think they're your equal, kind of like you don't know what you don't know. It's good to know what you know. It's also good to know what you don't know. And when you don't know, seek out guidance, seek out opinion, right? But when you recognize that somebody else does not know what they think they know, kind of like a child, where they're telling you, oh, I know how to, like if I'm asking a carpenter, how do I build a deck? I've never built a deck before. I'm not his equal in that area. I have to learn if I want to build a deck. But if I think I know everything and I'm his equal, then my deck's going to suck and he's going to look at me just laughing like that shit's going to fall apart, dude. You're gonna waste a lot of money and the shit's gonna fucking fall apart. You know. Anyway, man, let me check my time, dog. Hey, man, I got to get out of here, man. KQKC Boxing's coming on next. Let me check off this just the super chats to make sure that I didn't miss anything. I really do enjoy talking to y'all. Oh, yeah, McGray said, don't forget. Okay, that was the last one. Yeah. All right, y'all. With that, I'm out. Peace.